Hi again, everybody. AJ Hanna here from Symphony Ventures. Welcome back to Ask AJ. I am with my colleague Jeff Sondak, and Jeff and I have been attending a conference this week, and so I wanted to take the opportunity with Jeff's heavy expertise in banking and financial services to talk a little bit about some of the aspects in that particular industry vertical where RPA can be very effective.
Yep.
And, you know, Jeff, as we were talking earlier, you know, one of the things that that I know that I've experienced, and I'm sure many people who are implementing RPA programs, is you go into different parts of the organization and you get well, you can't do that here.
Right.
And so you're battling that perception that their work is so different that what you do in one area can't be done in another. So.
Or let's do this one area first, and let's worry about this, and then we'll make it work, and then we'll figure out how to do another area, for example. I agree.
Yeah. So, as with many industry verticals, banking and financial services is very complex. There are lots of branches to the tree, and each of them feel that they're very specialized in their own way, and in their own way they are.
Absolutely.
But in your opinion, there's lots of room of commonality that they can leverage off of.
I think if you look at RPA in general, it's taking the box and throwing the box completely out, because you have to have a different mindset where you might have a group in an organization that's focused on wealth management, one might be focused on retail, one might be focused on commercial. They all do their own thing. They might have their own personnel, they might have their own security, they might have their own, there's obviously a bigger tree, but at the end of the day, they have their own technology people and do their own thing. And when you start having these conversations like we've seen over the last months and year plus, you start having these discussions, and let's talk about our finance and accounting, and let's focus there. And we'll look at what people we have there, we'll look at how we can take robotics, put it into the equation and make it work. And I kind of challenge that a little bit, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, where when you look at robotics, you can literally plug and play different aspects of the organization to get the most out of the robots that you're putting in, or the virtual assistants, or the virtual personnel. Because unlike people, where you have to sit and you have to train someone on F&A, you have to train someone on account opening, you have to train someone on business development or trade execution or what have you. With robots, if you have the process mapped out and you've taken the time, you've built out the library, now what you have the ability to do is you have the ability to take that one robot, multiply it by X depending on scale, and then put in the variable libraries that you need to for it to execute its job. So you can have the same batch of robots doing F&A, and they could do trade exception handling.
Well, and it speaks to a very common misconception about the role of segregation of duties.
Correct.
In a digitized or a digital workforce environment.
Correct.
You know, segregation of duties is built certainly to assure that a person doesn't have the type of access combinations where they could do something that perhaps
malicious. Absolutely.
Do something malicious. And it's entirely different with a digital workforce whose only intent is to do what they've been configured or coded to do. Now, you can certainly configure or code them to do something incorrect. But
absolutely.
When you remove the intent equation, it completely changes from a security perspective the whole concept of segregation of duties.
Look, I'm not saying that it's extremely easy and it can be done overnight. There's process that needs to be built in and protocol, and just like people, we will get robots that need their own identifier and their own logins, and that has to be marked and worked with InfoSec to get it done. But if that gap is bridged and you can establish the protocols, you can get the maximum return for your investment by enabling these virtual assistants to do the job at a 99.9 and 90% efficiency, and really drive the productivity out of these robots that, let's be realistic, operate 24/7, 365. They don't take breaks. They don't go on vacations. They don't need medical benefits. They don't need infrastructure from a desk and a PC, etc. And at the end of the day, you are getting the deliverables that are much more error prone, satisfying the auditors that are out there that look at this and say, hey, I've got an audit trail, I've got minimal human error that takes place, and at the end of the day it's a win-win.
Well, Jeff, again, thanks for the time that you've spent.
Love to be here.
Helping us out, broadening our perspective into another one of the industry verticals that we serve as Symphony, and one that can benefit greatly from RPA. If any of you out there watching have questions or a topic you'd like to see us cover in future episodes,
send them down.
Send them to AskAJ at symphonyhq.com. As you know, the YouTube channel is at AskAJ. And the social media, Twitter and Facebook at AskAJ Hanna, no H on the end. We'll see you again.